had a question like actually like we say that 99% of the chanting depends on 99% of our spiritual progress depends on a japa,
Yes,
right?
Prabhuji.
And we also know that we have to read scriptures also. Philosophy also is required. Like we know the basic philosophy.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So some of the devotees like suggest that we have to read scriptures more and more as much as possible. But I believe that like as 99% of the chanting depends on 99% of our spiritual progress depends on our chanting. So I focus mainly on chanting, like Golo Kera Prema Rana, Harinam Sankirtan, and also Man Mana Mana Mad Bhakto Mad Yaji Mam Namaskuru. Right. So if we follow this, I feel that we should take shelter of the holy name because this will only help us. And suppose if we are not much intelligent, like suppose an engineer may be there and he may be able to understand some certain technical things, and also in scripture some technical things are there and we are not able to understand that. So I feel that we should not put a more energy in understanding that because we have to ultimately focus on the holy name and we are doing that and we have set up some kind of taste and this taste is increasing as years are passing. So when we come at the time of that, like I am 32 now, so like when I die at suppose 60 or 70 or 90, so this taste would be more and more as it is now. मतलब अभी कैसा है, like I had come 20 years ago in bhakti when I was 13 years old. तो तभी मैं करता था माला तो I was chanting 2 rounds. ठीक है, तो अभी it has increased, like focus also has increased. I can see that. तो अभी बात क्या है ना कि मतलब as my age will progress, my devotional service and everything will also progress. Like money will also grow, bhakti will also grow, and we are going to die one day. We all know that. And main focus is that we have to take shelter of the holy name. So is it necessary that we have to read scriptures and then only Krishna, we will get Krishna? And if we do not read scriptures, then we will not get Krishna, even though
Yes,
we have the some taste of holy name.
yes, Prabhuji. I
So
will not answer this question by my own mental speculation. I will just quote one Prabhupada's incidents that Prabhupada asked one of his disciples that if you can tell me why I'm writing so many of the scriptures, why I'm writing all Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So somebody told Prabhupada, you wanted to give us real knowledge, you wanted to give us the knowledge of the scriptures. You wanted to teach us by the examples of various devotees that how we should perform devotional service. So Prabhupada said, no, these are not the reasons why I am writing so many scriptures. The only reason, only and only reason I am writing all these scriptures so that you can chant nicely one day. Which means that these scriptures are not like they should not be taken as stories. Srimad Bhagavatam should not be taken as stories like stories have been written by Srila Prabhupada. These stories of the devotees are there to motivate us in the times of like there are leaps and bounds. Even when we are chanting, there are leaps and bounds. Sometimes we feel very encouraged and sometimes we feel very discouraged. So at that time, holy name is definitely there and it has its vastu shakti. Sachinanda Swami describes that holy name has a vastu shakti, like a fire. It gives you light also, it gives you warmness also. It has a vastu shakti. So holy name will have definitely that shakti. But to enlighten that fire to that extent, what we need to do, we need to have a backup of the scriptures so that we can go to refer to the scriptures in which the devotees have faced the same problem in which they were discouraged, but Krishna helped them during those leaps and bounds, so that we can chant the holy name incessantly without any obstacle. Like
yeah,
there's a very beautiful shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam which describes yes, Tivren Bhakti Yogena. So the I'm just forgetting the shloka. Tivren Bhakti
अकामो
Yogena.
सर्वकामो
Akama sarva kamo va mokshikam udarati. Tivren Bhakti Yogena. Next time again. So the Bhakti Yoga, the speed with which we are chanting, it is not enough. So to ignite it in a better way, in a Tivren Bhakti Yoga, we need to have a backup of scriptures. So we should read scriptures also. Prabhupada never ever said, I'm not saying from my understanding, it is only Prabhupada who has written so many books. He has written it for us only.
Yeah,
If he would have been concentrated only on the chanting, he would have written only one book and would have said, you chant the holy name, that is it. He would not have concentrated much on it. Is all his books, all his scriptures are his. He has given his sleep. He has just slept for 2-3 hours every day, and he has taken reference from so many commentaries from Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan. So why he has turmoiled so much for the benefit of us only, so that we can chant one day very nicely. As if now we are chanting. Even we know that how good we are chanting. We are mechanically chanting. Only the syllables are coming onto our tongue. We are chanting with our tongue with only the syllables of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But Prabhupada was such a exalted personality that he was a living Bhagavatam. So
okay.
we are trying to be good devotees. We are trying to be perfect, attain perfection in devotion. So to attain perfection, yes, we need to have the knowledge of scriptures even. Sundar Gopal Prabhuji wants to say something.
Yes, actually, you have wonderfully explained. I just want to add one point that in the offense, the 10 offense, there is one offense that Shruti Shastra Nindanam. So that means the English translation of that is that we should not blaspheme the scripture and the uh, scripture. So how we can overcome this offense? This offense we can overcome by appreciating the scripture. And the best way of appreciating scripture is reading scripture. This is one thing. And another thing, that point you have makes very wonderfully regarding Srila Prabhupada's quotation, the conversation. Actually, there also Prabhupada mentioned that to convince ourselves to chant the holy name and to come to the pure level of chanting. We are chanting, but how we can come to the pure chanting? So when we read the scripture, like now I'm reading 6th canto, the Ajamil Past. This Ajamil Pastime is really wonderful inspiration to understand that why we should read scripture. Scripture reading will help us because we have the education. If we don't know how to read and write, Prabhupada said that in one quotation that if you don't have that academic bent of mind, it is okay. But if we have the academic bent of mind, and if we should develop that is the point you have made. So thank you so much. So I just want to add this.
One more thing, like suppose like one minute, हाँ प्रभु जी, because ये कैसे connected है ना इसके लिए. So actually what I wanted to ask लगीन साहब, अभी suppose I am chanting very nicely और मुझे मतलब intensity से भी मैं कर रहा हूँ अभी chanting, ठीक है. तो फिर मतलब अभी तो मैं कर रहा हूँ, तो अभी मेरे को ऐसे लग रहा है कि अगर मैं बुक रीडिंग करेगा भागवतम एंड ऑल, तो मतलब फिर क्या होएगा फिर. अभी तो मैं कर ही रहा हूँ, अच्छा अच्छा हो रहा है, ऐसा तो मुझे तो लग रहा है. और मेरे को भी किसी ने ऐसे कहा नहीं है कि तू चैंटिंग नहीं करता, अच्छा ऐसा मुझे
No,
कभी
that
मैं
is fine. That is
नहीं.
fine. That is fine. That is fine. But you will develop more taste. More
प्रभु जी
taste.
सुनो ना, सुंदर
You can
गोपाल
read
ब्रो
at least
सुनो ना,
5 minutes.
आई
I
वांट
have
टू आस्क
seen
लाइक लेट हिम आंसर.
sorry.
हाँ, लेट रोहिन
Yes,
प्रभु आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन.
can I add something, Raj Gopal Prabhu? Yes, so
अच्छा बाद में
actually,
बात करते हैं तो चलेगा.
listen, I would say, मैं एक ही point add करना चाहूंगा कि when we are chanting nicely, that intensity and spirit will not be maintained throughout the life. It will always diminish. The nature of this material world is everything goes down over a period of time. Just like gravity pulls everything down, तो वो एक ही जगह पे maintain नहीं रहेगा. The tendency is to fall down. So that's why the
या
scriptures are there to elevate us. Prabhupada ने analogy दिया है कि we are chanting is like a boat. We are sitting in a boat, and the scriptures are like favorable winds, which directing the boat towards our destination, Golok Vrindavan. You know, अगर
राइट राइट.
scriptures नहीं रहेंगे तो हम boat पे उधर ही row करते रहेंगे, and we don't know where are they going. We don't have the direction. So scriptures actually give us the direction by favorable for flowing in the form of winds, and it directs us. So that's all. Yeah. Thank you, all the devotees, for wonderful analogy and wonderful explanation to Prabhuji's
सॉरी
question.